Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Boom, watch fam.
What is up, Watch Fam? I am Anna from Theo and Harris. I'm the director of content. At the time of this release, we are on day 19 of quarantine here in New Jersey, and we're about 200 streams into. We're all cooped up inside for now, and we're all handling this newfound time at home differently. My landlord decided to rip up the first floor of the building. Is this even allowed? I'm working a lot. Those at T&H headquarters have really had their heads down in work.
Bitten.
I mean, they're just swamped right now.
And in the face, neck. Yes! Yeah!
So yeah, while there certainly is a lot of unpredictability, we're just trying to adjust to the new normal by working as much as we can, staying clean, eating healthy. And while it's not as easy right now, put you up against the window. We've found that the best way that we can contribute to the community is by offering content. So we are still doing that at our normal pace, despite some, hurdles in the road.
Oh, are you kidding? Where's Anna? Oh God. Aqua Racer, which I like. I don't even dislike the Aqua Racer, but I don't understand why it's not more them. Like, why don't they put their own brand identity? Why is Tag Heuer, a supposedly luxury brand?
What's up, Watch Me?
What is up, Watch Fam?
Speaking of which, go check out QuaranT&H, which is basically like a binge playlist that we put together. As far as output goes, we're still releasing videos on our YouTube channel and website every week. We're still releasing articles every week on the website. We're still adding watches weekly to the Theo and Harris watch shop. And we're actually really fortunate to be in the position that we are. We already have most of these watches, so it just requires me and Christian to meet 6 feet apart, obviously, and exchange watches, and then I bring them back to my apartment, and I'm able to actually almost exactly replicate the studio that I use, which is normally Christian's house, but I just made it right on that table. So it's Thursday. Christian just recorded a video, so I'm at his house. I'm not gonna actually show the house for safety reasons. I'm at his house. He's going to give me the what's he gonna do? Is he gonna give me the SD card? No. I'm taking watches and photography equipment that is usually there because I usually photograph watches in the house. See, I have Clorox wipes. Speaking of watch photos, I actually took some earlier today. I already took down the setup that I had, but I can still show you guys some of the watches. Over here, it's pretty dark actually. So those watches haven't gone up yet, and they're probably not gonna go up until 2 or 3 weeks, but I think they're awesome and I want to show you some, so here's some B-roll. Lovely. So I'm not gonna lie, this is hard. Won't divulge all of my feelings because that's not why you're here. But I will say that we, starting the end of last year and then the beginning of this year, we really developed some amazing plans for content for events, for partnerships that, yes, were huge for the business, but more than that, that things that really would have contributed to the community and that we couldn't wait to share with you all. We have a vision for what this community and brands' relationships with customers and watch geeks can be, and that was starting to come to life. And then right when we were starting to make the final plans to make this jump and to start doing the work what we've been wanting to do for 5 years, everything stopped. Not only did our plans change, but all of a sudden we can't go to watch meetups, we can't meet watch enthusiasts and clients for coffee or for drinks. Like, all interaction with people in this community halted. There's a real social element to this hobby that I completely was taking for granted before this happened. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around this big of a change. As most people are, I'm finding a lot of centering and keeping up with family and in reconnecting with the people around me. Hello.
Hi, what are you doing?
Hi. I want you to meet my friends, my watch community friends. This is here they are. Watch fam, this is Carol.
Looks like a person.
Well, yes, it is in some ways. We love Carol. She's also an incredible artist, so go follow Carol Peak Art.
I'm sorry. Frick is calling me.
Someone's calling her, she's hanging up on me now.
I want you to end and accept. No, wait, do the other. How do I want to end and accept.
Something else that I'm finding really helpful, that I've noticed in the last couple days actually, is focusing on why I love this hobby, watch collecting and being a watch enthusiast, that I didn't realize was going to be helpful, specifically vintage watches. My watch, my pull router, which as I mentioned before is still being serviced, so I actually don't have with me. My pull router is from the 50s. My watch presumably was worn by someone through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, as were so many of your watches. Those were decades that had serious struggle and sadness and real hardship. I think that something we don't always think about is the symbol that our watches can be. It's not just about how timeless the design is or how strong the mechanics were that they could survive all those years. Maybe this is because I'm looking for inspiration like this, but I don't think so. But I'm actually starting to look at these watches as physical representations of surviving through struggle. And it reminds me of the community we have. It reminds me of all the people across the globe that I've talked to about watches, and how exciting that feels and how connected I feel to this hobby and to the people that share my interest in it. These objects that we're wearing on our wrists can actually help us feel connected to each other. This idea that we can get through it, and that this watch has already been through a lot of struggle and a lot of serious hardship. It's really like a companion for us, and one that was probably on the wrist of someone else while they were going through something really hard. And this doesn't just have to apply to vintage watches. Obviously, we are biased at Theo Harris. But even if you have a new watch, it can still be a reminder of the community that we have. Okay, enough of that. Now I'm gonna throw you over to the Zerones, who are gonna be making a beautiful Sunday dinner. But before I do that, I just want to thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want to see more of behind the scenes kind of stuff. I can get more into it. I can do less of talking, more of photography, or anything you guys want to see. So just let us know in the comments. Okay, and now I'm gonna throw it over to Christian to take over.
Back in this house. In the oven, you're gonna go head first.
See you 4 hours.
Yeah. That looks good.